Once again, we back at it on the bridge with Kyle Santillian, where we build and communicate and collaborate all things hip hop. And today we got some brothers in the building that are ready to help me make that happen.
Indeed.
Celebrating a new project coming out. Step Brothers 4 is on the way.
Step Brothers for life.
Yeah, Step Brother 4 life. Let me not leave the life off that for sure. Yo, Starlito and Don Trip, appreciate y'all brothers for being here, man.
Almost definitely.
Thank y'all. Now, I know y'all got pretty much of a cult following. Like, y'all audience loves you. You know what I'm saying? The vibes that you provide for them, they've been with y'all for a while. But for the people that are just now maybe getting introduced to who y'all are, what do you think it is about you two as a tandem that has caused so much admiration amongst hip-hop fans?
I think it's the transparency. For one, I think anybody tuned in, you're not confused. You wouldn't tune into a record or a video or interview or whatever and still wonder what kind of person we are.
Facts.
So to speak. Not to say you would know everything about us from it, but I think a lot of times in entertainment, we kind of get lost in the character that a person play. And when we meet that person, whether it's an actor or a musician, when you finally meet that person, it's it's night and day.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the things that works for us. We're not pretending in any shape, form, or fashion. Like it's gimmick free.
The word that comes to mind when you're talking for me was authenticity.
True that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think also creatively, we got like a complementary synergy, and that's kind of rare. Like in our generation, we grew up on a lot of like 2-man tandem groups.
Yeah.
That were complementary in their own regard, but I always felt the ones that I liked the most were always so different. And I think that we're more alike than different in the space of like being lyricists. But our music, like individually, is a little different. But when you put it together, it just works.
Create something special.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the bridge is all about like connecting the same way that you just mentioned that you guys do as artists. But you mentioned having some respect and admiration for 2-person groups from back in the day that kind of inspired some of those things you might have listened to.
Yeah.
Who would you name?
UGK, Outkast, A-Ball, MJG.
Yeah.
Field Mob.
Definitely all of those. Run DMC, Kris Kross, Styles, and Jada. Even though it's truly a 3-man group, they just share the I don't know what they call it. I call it baseball, but they do it the most often.
Yeah.
I was also a fan of. Say it again.
I just said the back and forth.
Yeah. The back and forth. Redman and Method Man.
Yeah.
And what we got Clipse.
I like the Young Guns. That was Rockefeller.
Indeed.
The Clipse, like you said, yeah, definitely up there.
Yeah.
You mentioned a name that most people don't even throw in these conversations when we're talking about inspirational groups, at least. Kris Kross.
Yeah.
Now, we know they had an impact on the game, for sure. Like, they came out, they did what they did, it had an impact on the game. But when people are naming... No, because this was so ill, because I ain't never heard nobody put Kris Kross in the same list and conversation that you just did with Jada and Styles P.
Got to, though.
And Outkast. You know what I'm saying?
That's where I started. When I saw Kris Kross, I started this with my brother.
Okay.
When we saw Kris Kross, it was 2 many similarities. So, and you got, I don't know how old they are, but first, my name is Christopher.
Okay.
So that was already, that just made it lifelike. One of them was light skinned and one was dark skinned. My brother's a darker shade than me.
Okay.
So it's that shit just worked. So as kids, that's who we mimicked. We mimicked Kris Kross. We knew all the records.
Yeah.
It was when this is back when your grandmama call you in and when all the family gatherings and do that dance and that song y'all do. We was Kris Kross. Even for a second we had we only had like one or two the cross colors, the overalls
The
and shit.
jumpsuit, overalls, yeah.
So for as long as my mama would allow us, we used to wear them backwards like they was. Even when we had saw them on A Different World. So when we saw them on TV, like they was larger than life for us.